Welcome back to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. We have a discussion with Ezra Ruto talking about what you should do before you join university or college or tertiary institution or a vocational institution or, whatever else move you want to make right after finishing Form 4. So if you're a Form 4 student, this here is your show. And if you have somebody who has just finished KCSE in your household, the show is for them as well. Ezra, so you talked about the things that you should do. Identify your gifts, identify your talents, as well as the things you're good at. Find your purpose. As you align yourself into what you need to be doing. What shouldn't you do?
What you should not do. I think you've asked a very important question, because as much as you've tackled what they should do, there are some things that you should not do. Levi, the first thing that you should not do is that you should not associate with people that are not. I think the first thing that I'll tackle it in this means that there are people around us. As much as we need God, we also need people in our lives. Meaning we can never escape from associating with people in our lives. There are different kind of associations. So the first thing that you should not do is you should not associate with people that can bring you down. You should not associate with friends. Friendship actually is very important. I can only say, they say that show me 5 of your friends and I'll show you your character. But I'll say show me only 3 of your friends. Those 3 that are in your inner circle. And I'll show you who you are going to be in the next 5 years. Because you can never be different from the people that you associate with. And that is the problem which most of us make. We associate with very bad people. Our friends or the people around us are very, very, very bad. Like one character of a bad friend is that they advise you wrongly. How are you going to become different from the people that you associate with? That is what I should be asking you. If you associate with a failure, associate with a person who is not in. If a person you sit with for 2 hours, all you do is gossip about football. All you do is gossip about celebrities. All you do is alcoholism. All you do is drugs. And these are the things that some of them are going to experience in campus. That first year in campus is very challenging. You experience the bad associations. So how are you going to be different from these people in the next 5 years? It's very tricky. The people that you associate with today, show me your friends, I'll show you your character, and I'll show you your future. Friends are very important. Our associations determine what we'll collect in the future. They say that your connection determines your collections. It is those people, your network, those people around you that will determine your net worth. They'll really determine how you are going to be in the future. Bad friends, you'll become bad character, but why do you want to fit in with people who, for them, average is success? When you've achieved something small, they celebrate it, and we end at that point. How will you get the push to go forward? How will you get the push? If I want to be a Dr. Levi, I'll associate with a person. First of all, there are 3 kinds, let me say two kinds of friendship. There are people who are ahead of us. We associate with them like in a level that they are ahead of us, in that they know what is in front for us. There are some challenges that people in various fields, there is no first place that you are the first one to venture into. Whether it is law, whether it is medicine, whether it is business, whether it is education, whether it is where, that is not the first place, and you're not going to be the last person to venture into. So as you go into that field, or as you go to do what you're doing, there is a person ahead of you. So first of all, identify that person. That is very important in terms of mentorship, in terms of inspiration, in terms of showing there are some problems that they experienced that they'll tell you and you'll not experience them. Number 2 kinds of friends, which really affects us, the relationships, those people around us. The people, I call them peers, the peers of the people around us. Those are people now that affect us. They can either affect us positively or negatively. Why would you want to fit in where average is called success? Where would you want to fit in where people rumamonga the whole day, where people do drugs, where people do alcohol? So are you going to be a doctor in such a place? You can't. Show me a doctor who, no. Friends of doctors are doctors. Friends of pilots are pilots. Friends of lawyers are lawyers. So associate with people that can give you a push. So don't, number 1, escape from people who can never give you a push. Number 2, seek advice. Don't fail to seek advice. That is, advice is very important. The sky is too big for 2 birds to collide. You're not the first to venture into that place, so you have to seek advice. You have to seek the people who are ahead of you. It is very, very vital for success. Very vital. Like one ingredient for success is that you should understand the people ahead of you. You should understand the challenges of what they experienced before you experienced. So as you head forward, or as you head to identifying what you want to do, don't engage with people that will bring you down. And also don't fail to seek and get advice, as you also try to align yourself with what you're supposed to do in life.
Good points, Ezra. What about, parents, brothers, sisters, guardians? people around the Form 4 students who feel that, maybe there's a tendency for us to feel like, this person may not know what they really want to do, or not so sure, so let's give them. Is it upon us to give them a route?
No, Levi, I think the problem with our parents, especially our Kenyan parents, is one, in that they want what they did or what they experienced or what they want to impose it on you. That is why our parents, parents have grown with this mentality, or they rear you with some kind of mentality in that they're investing in you, in that one day you will come and help them out in some problems. So when they find, of course I'll come and help their parents.
So you're saying you will not?
I'll come and help them. I've defended myself.
Ezra,
Anyway, I'll
on this here show, are you saying that?
Of course, I'll help my parents.
Yeah.
That I know, that I must do. That is one. Of course, that is different. But parents should get away from that mentality that I'm paying for you fees so that you pay back to me. Yeah. I'm paying for you fees so that your life will be better. The same will be inculcated to my child.
Or investing for returns.
Yeah. They should run from that mentality. Saying that when a parent sees me and see I can sing, and so I tell my dad, I want to go singing. Tells me, no, apana. Because he knows he's quite fearful. He's quite fearful. Is this thing going to pay as soon as possible? Parents want in that nikimaliza for the hivi, nimepata job, I come to help them immediately, which is not the case. I come to pay fees for my, which is not the case. The case should be, okay, do what you love. Because if I'm passionate, nothing can take over a man until he's obsessed with it. Yeah. No, it is not your obsession.
What you love, though, is a tricky, because you find sometimes that the worry for parents is not so much that you will come back. For many, it's a fact that, will this be long term for you? Will it be something that will give you a nice vocation? Because sometimes you find children have finished school, and they want to be rappers. They want to be video vixens. You have content creators. You've got social media bloggers. You've got socialites. And they're all, by the way, careers.
Yeah.
If you want to call them that, and people are aspiring towards these things. Or and somebody says, no, I don't want to go to any. I just want to create my channel on TikTok and YouTube. And let me just do my own things, and let's see where it goes. Where do you draw the line, or where do you want to help parents draw the line?
I'll help parents
from your perspective as a young person.
Now,
between them worrying for this child's
future
and this child actually doing something that might be of benefit to them.
Yeah. Now, Levi, I think the problem with us, I'll begin from that point, the problem with the young people, and that is what, again, I have to tell every young person listening to this or watching this. The problem is that with us is that we think that the path that one person has followed is going to be the same path as ours. Like, if, Levi, I am aspiring to be a journalist like you or something, now I think that the path that you followed, the way you studied, the way you are appointed, or maybe you got a job immediately or later on, is the same way I'm going to do and get it. I had a friend in high school who used not to read in class. They used to compose songs. They're writing songs in class. And say, masomo haiwezi nisaidia. Parents' role in all this is to advise, which is very important, very vital, very key. If my dad cannot advise me on matters career, on matters life, then that is a deadbeat parent. It's bad. He cannot help me in any way. So the first thing that my parents should do is advice. Advice is very important. So the role of parenting is advice. Let them inject advice into us. And how can they bring the advice, Levi? Number one, we have to tell our parents, we have to call a spade and not a big spoon. We have to bring things live to our young people. That the people that you see on television, it never took. The problem with us is that you can never cut. There is a Kikuyu saying that says you can never cut a mogumo tree with a razor blade. It takes time. It is something we call patience. Meaning you have to tell them, my son, for you to get where these people are, it requires patience. It requires perseverance. You have to be passionate about something. You have to experience problems. Meaning, as I venture into some career, as I venture into doing some things, I'm saying this because I'm putting in mind there are some guys who never made it to the campus. There are some guys who have never made it to campus. They made it to, maybe they are going to KMTC. There are also others who are thinking of starting other things. So you have to tell them it requires perseverance. And they also have to be told that the path that other people followed is not the same path that they'll follow and become successful. Have you ever seen that even in our community where I come from, maybe my village, by the way, we have this tendency of every young guy who is not good in class wanting to go and join KDF. They want to go and join the military because there is a tendency they've seen somebody there joined the military, and he's right now the guy is driving a big car or something, he has bought some huge pieces of land, so I want to follow the same path, which is not the case. Everybody, as much as you'd want to become the person, that person that you want to become, follow the role that that person is playing in the society today, you have to experience that there is something we call the journey here. Success is not the destination. Success is the journey. The journey is what defines the success.
So this journey,
what we call the journey.
In this journey now, you know, a lot of people are thinking end result is you know, is money. See, we're all doing this for the chums.
Yeah.
And some are thinking, okay, fine. If that's the end result is to make money so that you can have a good life or a decent life for that matter. You know, get your own home, you know, be able to live, survive, pay your social amenities and things like that. And then you have a dream. So if the dream was to maybe, for example, be a good footballer, and it's becoming difficult to achieve that, or it doesn't look serious within the circles in the house. But KDF comes calling, and you think, well, the dream was to be a good footballer to make money. Now here's soldier work to still make money. Why don't I just go be a soldier? You know. What would you say in such a scenario? Would you advise? How would you advise people who set aside one dream to pursue the one that could make money?
Levi, I'll become a bit biblical here. They see that a blessing is something that you get from God, or a blessing is something that you have that another person does not have. That is one. So we have to understand that even in our success journey, there are some blessings that come. And a blessing or the success, they say that the primary goal of success, there is a different way that I can define success for you, Levi. Every one of us has a different definitions for success. You know, our teacher used to ask us, what do you want to be in future? A person would say pilot, because for them, they know that to be a pilot, that is when you've become successful, which is not the case. To be successful is that you can be able to live a life that is comfortable. You can pay all your bills without stress. You can pay everything at that time. So don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a haste. Patience pays. So as much, follow your dreams, by the way. Follow your passion. Follow your obsession. What are you obsessed with? Even if you go and join that place, as much as you'll be in that place for money, you'll be doing it for money. And that is one problem that we all have in the society today. A lot of people are doing the various entities of work that they are doing. They're only doing it for money. They are not doing it for the sake of humanity. They are not doing it. That is why you have doctors who would say that because this person can pay this 100,000 and this one can only pay 20,000, even if this 100,000 is not in a critical condition, they go wanaenda kudumia ule wa 100,000, leaving this of 20,000 here, because they are not in for the sake of humanity. They are in for money, which is punishable for God. You are dancing all the way to hell. You better walk to heaven. Now, Levi, you have to understand something. We have to understand something when you're talking about this. So as much as you are going to join campus, or as much you have to follow some paths of success, they are going to be long, and they require patience, they require determination, they require resilience, they require persistence. Keep doing it. People give up when they're about to get something. When you see that your success and efforts are not paying up, remember one thing: you are just about to cross the next hurdle and move on to the next step. The steps in that we are moving from one place to another. That is good thing about life. Life is not circular. Life is not circular. They say that to get anywhere, to get somewhere, you have to begin from anywhere or get nowhere. You will remain there at that point. So you have to start and look, where do you want to go? So begin from that point gradually. Life is a gradual process. Things don't just happen. Things are made to happen. So we have to make things happen. So you have to sit down, ask yourself, how am I going to make this happen? No matter, and commit yourself to what the goals that you've set. Commit yourself to what you want to do. Keep scrolling, keep pushing on, keep beating every hurdle that can come your way. Your success is coming in a fortnight.
So in the final 7 minutes or so, what would you advise those people who applied, you know, who are having trouble with the portal now? You talk about the portal, right? And this portal is the one where people choose their different, you know, according to now, the courses, according to now, the grading, now that the grading is out. Some people, it will kick them out of some things completely. And it will suggest others they may not even have thought about. What do you tell that person who maybe had a dream to do medicine and can't?
Levi, you've brought a very good, very vital point that
Now it's
you're
being
almost
offered.
forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Levi, I'll give an illustration. I have a friend at home, a girl, scored a B, wanted to pursue nursing. But because of the grade requirements of nursing, which are C+, chemistry, biology, C+, the girl did not happen to score a C+ in chemistry, but she has a B. She wants to pursue nursing, but she opens the portal, the grading, apana, imekata. So, but she wants to do nursing. Somebody called me, I think a week ago, a woman telling me that the daughter wanted to do medicine, but imekata, she scored a B+. So the daughter is somehow being depressed or somehow losing it in life. Now that is the very important. And I would advise one thing, that the journey to success I said is a journey. It is not a destination. So if that is what you wanted to do in life, remember that is not the only thing that you can do to bring success to you. You have to sit down to yourself and see if that thing has failed. The more we waste time, the more we waste chances. And I have to say this, and I have to say this without no fear of contradicting myself, that repeating is never an option. Don't go back to school. It's never an option, by the way. Because exams right now in Kenya are gradually becoming difficult. You look at last year's KCSE is difficult than the other one. So how sure are you that you're going to score the same grade? You can end up being devastated again. How many times have you had people going to repeat in high school and later around failing? So the first thing, repeating is not an option. Number two, that is not the only thing that you can do in this world to bring change. Have you ever sat down and listened to successful people talk? People who have made it in this society today. They'll tell you that at one point I wanted to do this. At one point I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wouldn't be. So I followed this and it has paid off. So one thing is that sit down, look at what you can do, and also consider your parents. That is one thing people are forgetting. There are some of us who are pushing our parents to the wall. In that, because I did not make it to go directly to the university to do medicine, take me to Strathmore to do law. How is it going to happen? It is going to push a burden to our parents. So consider your parents and know that that is not the only way to success. That is not the only way that can bring you success. How many people in our society today have succeeded in fields that they never thought would make them succeed? So, and that is why I said the first time, it is God, it is education and talent. If education fails, remember you have a gift, you have a talent. Nurture that gift, nurture that talent. It is going to pay off at last. It may be difficult when you are starting, but be sure of one thing, it is going to pay off. One time you are going to sit down and say that it has been a journey and I've made it. Yeah.
Right. It is going to pay off. We are almost out of time here. What would you speak to students not feeling good about what they got in exams? Depressed, maybe wondering if I go to vocational, college, even feeling even a bit embarrassed.
Embarrassed by friends, yeah.
To say that I'm going to a TTC or I'm going to, what's it called? I'm going to a technical institution, yes. What would you speak to them and tell them this morning?
Levi, it is a hard nut to crack. It is a very huge pie to break when we are talking about, because I have a lot of friends, by the way, who wanted to do this, but now it has failed, they are doing this. Let me talk to you. You are at home, maybe you wanted to do, you've scored a C+, a C-, or maybe you did not make it to campus, or maybe now the only option that you have is go for the technical institution, the TTC, or these other things, KMTC and everything. Let me tell you something. Results are not the end of life. Results is not the end of life. How many people studied in Alliance? I have people who studied in Alliance, scored A-. They come to campus, they still get supplementary exams. So those results don't define you. Results shouldn't define you. Results shouldn't define you. It is just a step to success. It is a step forward. And whatever you scored, meaning that you have a chance to improve. So go wherever you want to go. Go wherever you want. You just have to be humble for some time, because at one time you will come celebrating the decision that you are just about to make today. So you have, first of all, make that step, find what you want to do, push and go for it. Don't talk, let the naysayers will never cease to be some. They will always talk. People will always talk. People around you will always talk. So naysayers will never cease to be some. Raise the rent and evict them in your mind. Just be humble. Things are going to pay off at last. Yeah.
Raise the rent and evict them in your mind. I like that very much. Ezra, very pertinent words you have given to the students this morning. I hope that we can have this conversation again, so that at least you can inspire and talk to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. As a parting shot, to anybody who has not caught us and has caught us at this very dying end, what is the one thing you would say? If you forget all else, remember this.
Remember this, be purposeful in life. Purpose pays. If you know tragedy, don't die without identifying your purpose. Identify what you are created to do. What is it that you are supposed to do before you die? Yeah. You have to do something.
Before you die, that's tricky.
Yeah.
Could be today. Identify what you need to do before you die. That's the words of Ezra Ruto. Brings us to the close of 59 minutes this morning. Do have a lovely day. Stay tuned for Leah coming up with the lawsuit. And see you tomorrow, God willing.